Great question. So, any other questions? How to increase your disposable income. So, disposable income means extra money that's laying around. So, let's assume everyone has at least $500 in here that's disposable. Is that okay? We have $500. It's not your grocery money, it's $500 that you have. Or let's say you have some assets or toys or four-wheelers or motorcycles or boats or 72 Camaros or a bunch of tools in your office. There's like 4 people in here that have cars, so don't just go and talk to one person. Okay, lots of stuff. A lot of times when you have those extra assets, if you don't use it, sell them. Oh, you guys are looking. Some people are looking at each other. Okay, here's why. It doesn't do anything for you. If you can, so I met someone recently. He flips cars, which is awesome. One guy in here flips trailers. I flip houses. It's all relative. It's just adding a zero on top. Does that make sense? It's literally like 2 weeks ago, my friend's like, you just need to add a zero and do bigger deals because you know how to do it. Like, it's a good point. Because there's way less people competing in that versus what I'm doing. So, how to increase your disposable income? Setting it. So, this is Stephen Marshall again. I'm going to read. I like reading this quote because it's really good. Saving money is not the same as making money. So, if you guys remember the first preface where I said spender, saver, investor, most people are naturally spenders. We just spend what we consume. Sorry, we consume what we earn. Quick. In and out, gone. There's a paradigm shift, or our brain has to think, or we have to change our mindset. And you better be writing a lot of notes for yourself. You go to a saver. So once you've saved, you're like, it's not living frugal. It's just like, cool, I'm spending less than I earn. When there's certain months, this year, my first quarter was my weakest first quarter in probably 3 years. Just lots of things happened. It was not very profitable. I didn't panic. I just had to retool what I did and focus and modify because the market's changed. And lots of different things, okay? Blessing County. So, in sharing that, paying off debt is not the same as accumulating assets. So some of you guys in here have had owned properties free and clear that I've repositioned your assets to acquire more assets. Because the rate of return in your house is what? Zero. Minus 4% for inflation. You got it. Let's just start with zero. If some of you guys are like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about, here's what I mean. Let's talk about our parents or grandparents. Sorry for swearing. No. Let's talk about our parents and our grandparents. A lot of our parents or grandparents are retiring or retired. Very few of them have enough income to live comfortably and be able to travel twice a year. You guys agree with that? We'll call it just twice a year. Them going on one cruise on the Royal Caribbean. I met a bunch of them when I went. I'll never go again. Oh wait, sorry. The Royal Caribbean was the fun one. I went on some other one. A bunch of Algarves. Okay. What was that?
Holland America?
No, it wasn't that one. Algarve goes on a cruise. I like Algarve a lot. So, the reason why I'm bringing that up is for those of our parents or grandparents who have their houses paid off or almost paid off, they have to do what's called get a reverse mortgage. Literally, they have to get a mortgage to take the equity that they've worked so hard to live frugally for, and it pays them to live. And then they've got their needy kids, sorry, just calling it what it is, who once they pass away, they blow their money quicker than they get it. So I have a scenario that someone passed away. There were 6 siblings. They had about $1 million estate. It was interesting. The 3 kids who needed it had to get the funds. The other 3 who were financially responsible wanted to sell it for a higher price, but they were fighting with the family. Not fighting, but just talking, hey, what's the best for everyone? The 3 that got their money, based on me talking to one of the others who've already gone through it in a year, they got like $150,000 each. That's a lot of money to go quick. Okay? The other 3, one paid off their house, one bought 3 houses, and the other one's waiting for their capital, not to know what they want to do with it. The reason I'm bringing that up is I'm trying to help you guys set some standards of what you're going to do to progress with your retirement. 30 years ago, there weren't reverse mortgages, if that makes sense. So what was that? 84. So as you can see, the government has had to change programs as lifestyles have changed. Are we going to change in 10 and 20 years? Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to give examples based on what we can do the best we can based on what's available now. Things will change and we've got to modify it, but we're thinking forward. So, I love this quote. So here's an example of the 500K of capital. So what I want you guys to do first is write how much extra disposable income you have today. And everyone's different. Because I'm going to hit everyone in here, at least you're going to get once in here as this example. So you're just going to put how much disposable income you have today.
You mean like a total or every month?
No, just sitting in your account. So went to Jimmy Napier seminar a year ago. There's about 100 people. We all paid $500. It was super affordable. We had to fly to California, 2-day event. So this older guy, kind of probably like how you guys are thinking, like, what's this guy talking about? He did a great job of answering everyone's questions if they raised their hands. So someone was asking, some people behind me said, man, he's talking about how to make all this money, but we only have 30. Literally, they said, we've only got 30. So I'm like, oh, 30, okay, that's good. So I'm like, hey, Jimmy, Mr. Napier, some of my friends here in the back were talking about, some of my friends and I, so I say and I, we're talking about, I've only got 30 grand, what would you do? And he shares what he would do. Make sense? So I'm going to share what I would do if I were you guys and I had 500, because you've all got $500. Okay, number 1. Make phone calls for a wholesaler. God gave you a mouth and a brain. You just have to learn how to talk to people. So if you wanted to say, I want to do more investing or get more capital, I would pick up the phone and make calls to find who's buying. Make sense? I'm finding who's buying property. Very simple. Who's buying? Is that different? Because lots of people go to workshops and never buy. Who's buying? Now, if I did a different trade, I would find out who's looking for work or who needs a job. Does that make sense? You're doing something active. Erin recently quit her job and you're selling furniture. It's awesome because I talked to Kevin about it. He made like $3 grand last month.
Come see me at the urban flea market.
Come see me at the urban flea market. But what's cool is she knows something. She can buy furniture inexpensively, make it better, which we're going to go over in this meeting, and sell it for a profit. Is that the same thing as flipping houses? Yep, same thing as buying businesses. You buy an asset that's being ran poorly, and you make it better, and you make it grow. Lots of business owners do that for a living. They're called venture capitalists. They make a lot more money than I do. That's an interest that I have to do. So, Brandon, do you have a question? Make phone calls for a wholesaler. Find out who's buying. Make phone calls for employers that you've worked with or done contracting. Find out who needs work. Make sense? You're doing something active. Also, the thing I would do, does it cost you money to make phone calls? Just your cell phone bill. Is it humbling to make phone calls? Not at all. I make phone calls all the time to get business and I get paid really well for it. But I've had to get good at it. It's better than standing outside your house and not having anything to do. Number 2, I put take a negotiating class. Is negotiating hard? It's all up here. But we negotiate everything, right? Literally. With our spouse, our significant other, our employees, our employer, our business partners. Negotiating takes back and forth. So if you don't know how to take a negotiating class, I would Google one. I taught one earlier this year. Who went to the negotiating class? Yeah, August. 1, 2, 3, 6. Has it helped you?
Yeah.
Have you done it? Al hasn't done it. Yeah, he calls me.
Well, I negotiate with you.
Yeah, he negotiated with me. Yeah, hell yeah, worked really well. But it's taking something different to perfect some skills. If you're in a different industry that you're like, hey, if I learned how to do this better, I would earn more, do the same thing. There's a book, I want you guys to write this down if you've not read it. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's an awesome basic book. I got to read it again this quarter to help me go back to my roots. How to Win Friends and Influence People. It just talks about different etiquette, how to get what you want. It's literally like how to get what you want and treat people. It goes a long way. Some of you guys are like, dude, you need to read this like every week. I only get upset or frustrated when I have to do things over and over again. If that makes sense. Right, Leslie? Who's the author? Dale Carnegie. Okay, so you guys all agree if you took this action, you could earn $500 at least in a month? Yes? No? Yeah, heck yeah. Okay, easy. You just have to do something. That's not easy, but you have to do something. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this extra $500 and we're going to grow it to $1,000. Is that easy? Could all of you guys buy stuff on KSL and sell it to someone else? Probably. I'm giving you an example. I'm literally keeping it that simple. If you buy an old house that needs stuff, Christine asked me, and I was showing a photo, what did you guys do with the organ? We could probably sell that organ for $500. It was a house that Richard Wagner helped us with on Springview, and Ryan did too. But I don't want to go take the time to take the photos, but if the contractors did, they took the photos, filled with the phone calls, they're already there, and come buy this organ for $300, I'm good with that. If they ask me, yeah, of course, thank you. Saves them time. Makes sense? There's a lot of stuff. 2, now you got $1,000 capital, so we're going small, right? We're not going from 500 to 10,000, we're just going incremental. So if I had $1,000, I would take another negotiating class, or a prospecting class, or a class that helps your industry, if that makes sense. So that might mean you to get a professional license to earn more. Okay? And then I would bird dog a property. Bird dogging a property is very basic. It's easy. Basically, you get a name and a number of someone who wants to sell and refer it to someone else that's more qualified, i.e. me, and then you rely on me to buy the house if they're interested, and then I buy their house and then pay you a fee. Ryan, have I paid you fees?
Yes.
You ever have to worry about it?
No.
Was it the easiest money you've ever done besides other stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's our little running joke. Okay? He's good. Him and his wife see a house, they'll take a photo. They're awesome. They'll take a photo, write the number down, they'll make at least a phone call, get a little data, send it to me, then it's my job. I think that feels like 70% of what I get. Thank you. You just need to get some more. Make sense? It's just being conscientious. We all drive around all over the place. It's just being conscientious how to find it. Who's ever been with me that I pull over and call signs? I don't say I don't do it. I do it. That's how I find houses. I bought a house for Luke 2 years ago from calling his. We buy houses signs, and I still call him every time because I don't remember who signs who. Salem, 5899 South. All 3 of you guys worked on it. 4 of you guys. It was awesome. Made a couple bucks. They got paid. I got paid. I paid you. Okay, 500. Is that easy? $1,000. You guys can do that. This sounds now $2,000. Now we haven't touched our principal. Does that make sense? We didn't blow our original 5,000 or 500. You guys make sense? We kept that capital because we've worked so hard to save our money. So we didn't go buy more stuff. We kept it as capital. We grew it to 1,000. Now we grew it to 10,000 or 2,000. How much has it gone up? 400%. Sounds dumb, but I'm going to give you examples with it more. Take another negotiating class. Here's why I keep bringing that up. The better you are talking with people, you can get so much more stuff. Do you guys agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Adam.
Do you have some classes you recommend? Or?
Yeah. Google what industry you suggest.
As far as negotiating?
Yeah. I'm going to Jimmy Naper's negotiating class this next year. That's Steve. Trevor, will you email everyone that? That's an assignment for us.
Jimmy Napier.
Yeah, Jimmy Napier negotiating class. Go to something local. The RIA clubs have them frequently enough. At least there's one, if that makes sense. For those of you guys that have a little extra capital, you might need to travel out of state. Tom Hopkins, there we go. Tom, who went to Tom Hopkins? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there we go. Sales negotiating class. Or invest, buy a book or a CD for $100. Does that make sense? We drive around all over the place. Imagine if we actually listen to stuff to help us earn more income. Now, I know that's hard for me because I love listening to something. I'm on the phone like 90% of the time when I'm in the car. And if someone else is in the car with me, I let them drive so I can talk on the phone and not get in a car wreck because I'm literally on conference calls. But if you're not on the phone as much, if you listen to stuff to learn how to just talk to people and get what you want, when you want, better, and just asking, you're going to get better at it. You guys agree? So, now next, we're going to bird dog 2 properties. This is literally a goal everyone can do. You find 2 houses. Example, we're all investing. We all have an interest in investing. We go knock on a door at a house that we try to buy, and we see a couple ugly houses that have signs on them, or for sale by owner, or for rental signs. If that makes sense, I'm helping you guys' brain go again. You can call and find out who the owners are. Is that hard? Nope. You can knock on the neighbors' doors and just say, hey, I'm interested in this house. Do you know who the owner is? Yeah, great. Do you know the best way that I can contact them, or what could you tell me about the house? This is not to talk about negotiating, but I'm just giving you examples of taking different action. For me to buy as many houses as we buy and help with mortgages, they just don't come to me. They kind of do now, but they didn't before. I still have to prospect. I still enjoy it. But I'm showing, you're just bird dogging too. You can refer them to other people that you like. I'm trying to show you guys who have less capital by bird dogging or bringing referrals to other investors. That's going to help you earn more disposable income immediately. Does that make sense? You're not quitting your day job. You're just keeping your eyes and ears peeled so you can earn more. Not telling you to become a professional real estate investor. You're just being, hey, anytime you hear something, you're like, hey, someone could own this house. We might have a solution. Let me talk to you, one of my partners, and get back to you. Is that easy? Could I be lots of people's business partners? We got to phone each other, like for that part.
On the 2000, I wrote
Buy a rental? Not yet. Here's why I say not yet. You could have something catastrophic happen and wipe you out. Now, these 2 young, arrogant kids think they know more than I do. But we'll see who has more at the end. Okay? Okay, next. Now, think about this. Have we touched this principle?
No.
No. Good. We're letting it grow. We're letting it grow. We're letting it grow some more. Now, $8,000. You bird dog 6 more properties. If you notice this, you're getting awesome at finding deals and just connecting people. Make sense? If you could be this proactive finding deals, could you always be this proactive finding work? As long as you're reliable, you deliver. Think about that as an investor. If I screw up on a real estate deal, is that investor going to bring me that deal again? Nope. That investor, even though I might say, no, I'm not going to be able to buy that right now, it doesn't fit, I've got other things that are more pressing, the investor will be like, that he can't buy everything, but at least he's being honest with me. That's what I expect with other people too. So, bird dog 6 properties, wholesale 2 properties, now for $2,500. Think about it. You bird dog 6, 12, 2, 14, 13. You're going to get a really good idea of how to find deals. Right? Or bid bigger jobs, whatever your industry is. Or go after clients who have more transactions. Or list properties in more expensive areas. I'm trying to help you guys think more or bigger. Is the same amount of work for me to refinance a $150,000 house versus a $400,000 house? Yep. And we work just as hard on a $150,000 house as a $400,000 house. Okay? Does that make sense? Any questions? You guys growing? Okay. Now we got to 16. Now we're getting moving. Okay. 16. Bird Dog 4 properties at 1K. What did you notice? Your price went up. It's not expensive. This is if they close. Then you wholesale 3 houses. Now I'm not saying everyone's quitting to become real estate investors. You guys are all investors. Don't quit your day job. My main income is mortgages, and I invest to complement it. Does that make sense? The people that Luke is an exception. I love that he's here because I told him not to quit his day job. He's one of 10% who've actually done well. So good job, Luke. In sharing that, though, he has multiple streams of income still. Correct?
Yes.
And you had him when you quit also to survive. You juggled jobs.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So, you grow from 16. Have we tried to flip a house yet? Nope. Have we got a rental yet? Nope. I'm trying to help you guys establish a solid financial foundation so you can keep it. So a lot of people, when I go to workshops, actually I've not gone to this sounds dumb. Anytime there's a free workshop, I don't go in Utah because my time is worth more than doing something for free. Now we teach 2 free workshops every single month because a lot of people want to know information, and it saves me that I don't have to explain the same thing 20 times every single week. And if they're really that interested, they can come to our office. And if they don't want to drive here, they can pay $35 to get access to stuff for a month, which is really economical because I understand opportunity cost. If I could watch something online and not have to drive somewhere, that's worth it for me because it's worth my time, if that makes sense. In sharing that, we're not trying to say flip houses or get rentals yet. We're just wanting you guys to find and build your capital, right? 3,200, 4 Bird Dog properties at 1K each. Wholesale 6 properties at $4,750 each. Now this is not happening in a month. Does that make sense? Just want to clarify. This is happening over time. If you guys have goals, you literally can just write this down and you can keep your money for more stuff. You also might need to buy nicer tools or hire an assistant or do lots of things that are more productive for your time. Yeah, I wanted to say this is not like, hey, this is what you guys do every single month. Just check it off. Yes, Lisa?
How many months did you say earlier in class? You said how many months you should have of income
6
first before flipping a property?
6.
Of your own personal operating expenses?
Yep. Because what if you wiped out? You're done. Yeah, people that put their full savings on one deal can be catastrophic. If your deal goes bad, you're done. I've learned that from older people than me. I'm really, really aggressive. I don't encourage people to be as aggressive. But it's also easier for me to make money than most people pretty quick, legally. I looked at like 7 people in here. Okay, so these good objectives that you guys can do. Yep. Okay, I'm showing you how to build more capital. Okay, 64. Bird Dog 6 properties at 1K each. Wholesale 8 properties at $7,500. You guys notice you earn more money on wholesaling because you get better at it. You find them. You get better deals. The realtors that find properties for the investors, they earn their money because they're finding deals. Okay? Have 6 months of living expenses saved.
So right there, so you have 6 months living expenses saved, plus you have 6 months worth in order to flip. Is that what you're saying?
Next. Look. Now we have a discussion. So if you've got 128K, what should you do?
Just
is open to anyone. Yeah, that's the whole point.
And buy something.
Depends on what your goals are. Tyler, give an example. What do you think are a couple of good goals?
What do I think are good goals?
Yeah.
I think that
If you got 128K,
I think building cash flows.
I'm done. What does that mean?
Buying assets that pay a yield monthly.
I'm dumber.
expense.
I'm dumber. Dumb it down.
Buy a house where your payment's $500 and you rent it for $700.
Everyone got that one? Sorry, I'll make it really simple. Own an asset, which is a house, collect rent of $7, and your payment's $5. Is that simple? I'm a simple person. Literally.